intensifies, but it is somewhat assuaged by the breeze flowing as they zoom across this hellscape on the infernal machine thrown together from scraps of infernal iron here and there, pieces of broken weapons and armor forged together with both mind and magic to create this revving, dust-throwing engine that crawls across the scape of hell. Onward toward Harmon's Hill with Fort Knucklebone behind them by a couple of days. But time does not exist. Has it been a couple of days? Has it been weeks? Has it been months? Who knows? We simply know that our goal is ahead of us. With Malachi at the control and the others seated in the wagon-like contraption that the engine drags behind it, they get closer and closer to Harmon's Hill. What are you all doing as you sit in the infernal machine? Start with you, Tatian.
You're muted, Tati.
I think I'm quiet and contemplative about what's just coming up. This feels like, even though it's not necessarily true, it just feels like 100% of everything that's happened since I've met up with the original kind of crew is her fault. And so she's kind of wrestling with that right now.
Mm-hmm. As the quiet kobold sits and thinks, to her left, the demonized, devilized Uthgard. What are you doing as you sit, Johan?
I'm fidgeting and anticipating getting some entertainment out of ransacking the armory. Could probably, since everyone won't eat the halfling toes, I'll offer to share like dried elf ears and see if anybody likes those. I mean, they're basically apricots.
No, thank you. Would you like some good berries? And he offers some good berries instead.
I mean, I'll try one. I mean, there are no halfling toes or elf ears, I'm
sure. I'm sure. And just kind of like screws his face up to the smell of the decaying, or like, how are they preserved? Are they like smoke? Actually, don't go into it. I don't.
I said they're dried. They're like jerky. But since they're elf ears, they're not tough and chewy. They're like soft and melt in your mouth.
I'm good. I appreciate it though. And then he passes the bag up towards Malachi so he can grab some while he's driving.
Yeah, Malachi has his head out the window like Joker in the Dark Knight while driving, because we're going kind of fast and he's never done that before. It seems kind of fun, and he'll reach back for some good berries, like some popcorn. Like, thanks, man.
No problem. And He kind of like wafts the bag under like Tater's like dejected face as she's like looking at her toes or however she looks when she's all contemplative. Barry,
I, yes, please.
go ahead, help yourself.
Those of
Kind of
you,
takes one.
those of you that are eating the good berries, you do notice that this is the first time that the good berry has actually tasted like you've grown accustomed to good berries tasting, since you all have been in hell.
Is it just me or is that sweet?
I, why is it good?
I mean,
It
typically
tastes
it's in
like-
the name, but yeah, typically they taste like ash.
Did the one that I tried taste awful?
No, good berries taste typically they taste good to the user. So whatever you're like, whatever is like your favorite,
Hmm.
whatever's your favorite meal or
It tastes-
favorite delicacy.
It tastes like pickled halfling toast.
Yeah, there you go. I think you just need to cleanse your palate, yo.
I was like, when did you start changing the flavor? The flavor of the berries now tastes like snozberries. They're really good.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't believe I've ever had a snozberry, but I believe that's a good tasting berry if it tastes like this.
Yeah, it's like a hybrid between a raspberry and a strawberry and a blueberry. It's like all of them all combined into one. It's kind of
That sounds like the ultimate berry.
yeah.
Some might say that it is.
Dude, if it only was like blackberry instead of like maybe I'd trade the blackberry for the blueberry in my gene editor. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, blackberries are really good.
Yeah.
So
Malachi is just thinking about how this is the first time he's about to rob a building that, uh, and he's not getting paid for, and it's kind of sad, but it reminds him of his freelance work, which makes him happy. when he was just starting out, he was like, oh man,
nice.
I haven't robbed anybody for free in a long time.
I would just like to shout out a couple of gifts really quickly. Thank you, Derica, for granting the Nat 20 to Chris. Thank you, Teslan, for the Nat 20 for Tatian. And it looks like we have a yeah. So if you have, if you remember, if you follow, you get to grant inspiration to one of the players or to the GM. If you subscribe, you get to grant a Nat 20. You can also spend your channel points and bits for those gifts as well. And we have we have all of those points listed in the chat right now. So yeah, we appreciate it. Help the players or make their life harder by granting those gifts to me.
Please help us. Please help us. We're in hell. Please help us.
So as the dust flies back, you remember, Tatian, the statement that was made about your connection with Tiamat. Tiamat is powerful, but you must call on her. As you continue zooming along the Crimson River of Styx, you eventually find yourself um, uh, over what seems to be like endless hills and dead trees. You eventually begin to see a large plume of white and gray smoke rising up over a hill, um, a few um, a few kilometers in front of you, um, and as the white and gray smoke spirals up, um, it eventually coalesces into a blackened cloud that seems to be um, over the crest of a hill ahead of you. Um, as you zoom further to the east, you see a large volcano rising up out of the plain, um, and in the direction of uh, and in the direction of the volcano. Um, there seems to be some form of encampment at the base of the volcano.
I park our G wagon on to the nearest tree. So like the biggest tree that we could then try to cover with other dead sticks, so we don't get robbed.
Are we switching drivers now?
I think we should be walking. We're getting close to the encampment.
Karen never got a turn to drive.
Karen can drive on the way back, but first we need to sneak up there. We don't want
Alright.
to announce our presence.
Johan will
Wait, we don't
remember
need
that.
thumbs to drive this thing? He says, like, looking over the controls.
We ain't gonna let that damn horse drive this damn car, okay? Anyway, but if I could like park it by a big dead tree, and then if there is some type of, I mean, I don't think there's some natural foliage down here, but there's some other logs or big sticks that we could try to cover up the car with.
Yeah, there's certainly a number of dead trees and branches in different patches about. Yeah, much of the foliage um, is burned or dried out. But yeah, I think that if you give me, I would say if you just take some time, you will eventually be able to cover it up. If your party helps you, it'll probably be faster, probably a little bit more efficient too.
Yeah, I asked the rest of the party to help. Guys, folks, uh, uh, the encampment the encampment's that way, and we need to walk up and be quiet. So we should hide this. We should hide our whip, and then approach on foot.
What, do you want us to, like, bury it in, like, a sand dune or something? Like, how do you mean hide it?
No, no, I mean like
Throw branches over.
just like put some branches over it, like a basic lean-to, like a basic, um,
Wouldn't
like
lean-to also look like something that might need investigated in this landscape?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a bunch of dead trees. A bunch of dead trees can
The
fall.
forest.
We are close to a forest. If it's a bunch of dead trees, that's all clustered together.
All right, does anybody have, like, a bike chain? Like, we can get a couple bike chains?
That's so funny.
Well, they don't have bike racks here in
Mm.
Avernus, so I mean, you could, maybe you could get around a tree, but I also feel like most of the things that would happen around this vehicle would also be able to break down said tree. So,
Yeah.
I do think that hiding it would be your best option.
Yeah.
I'll
Can I
help.
make? Yeah. Can I make a survival check or a stealth check for the vehicle or a
Um,
nature check?
I think.
um, I'm going to say no on the stealth check. I would say you could make a survival check to see if if you have what you need to try and obscure it from passing eyes.
All right. I'm making survival check. I got a 22.
Okay. So I think that you're able to gather up enough things to just kind of like just make it look like just a pile of trash. It looks fairly undesirable. You do a pretty good job at obscuring it. So unless you knew that there was something there, and I would say unless someone like investigated it thoroughly, it is unlikely that they would be able to tell that the machine is there.
Good job, squad. We actually need to have a group name.
Didn't we have one?
Johan and friends.
I like
Um,
I like I like the regulators. I just think
Um,
it's
I
a cool
get
name.
behind that.
I just think it's a cool name.
Maybe that is perhaps that is something that you guys vote on in your free time. As of now, the hill, you're still unable to see or really tell what is producing the plume of smoke that is just over the hill. But you are beginning to hear a clanging of, it seems like, metal on stone, or metal on metal. And at this point, there is kind of a constant wailing or caterwauling that occurs in hell that you've kind of grown used to. You've almost begun to drown it out, but those wails and moans have intensified as you've gotten closer to as you've gotten closer to Harmon's Hill. And it seems to be coming from this hole that is ahead of you.
Now, this encampment you're describing, this is before the hill, or that this is the hill?
There's an encampment. You see kind of like tents, kind of makeshift shacks at the base of the volcano that is further east, that is further
Okay.
northeast from where you guys are. But the wailing and moaning is coming from whatever is on the other side of the crest of this hill.
Okay.
Let's mount up.
Okay.
What was that?
So do you guys proceed? What do you want to do in this?
I would like to get some intel on what we're walking into. So if I could find a hill that overlooks the encampment and just look for a guard patrol, ways to sneak in, basically scouting out the area.
Okay, so you want to go to the encampment, not to the hill. I'm just trying to clarify.
No, I was trying to go to the hill. I thought the hill overlooked the encampment.
No, there are two different. I want to clarify. There are two different places that are in your view right now. To the east, there is an encampment at the base of a volcano. It appears to be a fort of some kind, some sort of settlement, makeshift settlement, ramshackled. Further north, there is this hill with this plume of smoke and ash rising up into the sky. There is like a dark cloud above it.
So that
And-
one
and
would be
so-
the armory.
You could guess that that to the north is the armory.
Okay.
All right. So y'all want to go? Y'all want to check out the small encampment first?
Is there a reason to?
Maybe we can get some intel on the armory from the encampment.
What
What a,
what type of intel?
Maybe there's somebody who's there that knows about the guards, a weak point of entry. They probably can know what's actually in there that we could take. Just
I think that given our circumstances, we should keep a low profile and not meet strangers.
I am thinking kind of along the same lines, especially if we want to make it look like demons had ransacked the armory. We don't need these people who live right outside the armory seeing a bunch of mortals were coming and asking about it right before the fake demons attacked.
okay.
I mean, just less moving parts, less points of failure. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so so hill in front of you. What would you like to do? What's your guys' approach?
How about we head towards the smoke?
Okay.
Yeah, get close
Um,
enough to see how you just physically get in and whether they
Mhm.
have patrols around it, then go from there.
So as you guys begin to as you head toward the hill, um, as you get closer toward the crest, you begin to see that at the base of this hill is essentially a quarry, a massive hole that has been dug into the ground of the plain, and there is a constant clanging of pickaxes, as it seems that there are numerous creatures fettered and chained, and in lines, mining material in this quarry. There are a number of devilish overseers, whipping at the enchained creatures, and the creatures range from more common, what for you all would be more common. They're halflings, elves, humans, and dwarves, as well as some demons that are essentially used as like pack animals, all in this quarry, and there are large wheelbarrows and wagons and carts of this black metal that they seem to be mining out, and carting to a forge of some kind, and at the it's almost kind of like a spiral as the quarry goes further down, and it spirals down into a large complex at the bottom with 3 chutes jutting up toward the sky, with plumes of smoke coming out of it, and you can see a bright glow beaming out from the windows of this forge at the bottom. From the hill that you all are on, you can see that there is there's not a gate, but there are 4 watchtowers around the top perimeter of the quarry, and in those watchtowers there are a couple of devils and some sort of like small winged creature that's just kind of like looking down and surveying the perimeter of the quarry. And you guys on the crest of the hill are above them, but not by much. And so as you look down into what is called Harriman's Quarry, this is essentially what you're seeing.
Do we see any finished products while they're working on their material? Like any close to finished products, or
give me a
or like
perception
things
check.
being things being smithed, like things being smithed and or forged.
Yeah, give me a perception check.
Natural 20. Oh snap! I got a 29.
There you go. Yeah, you if you looking closely and with your keen mind for observation, Malachi, you notice that some of the carts, the carts that are going in, are typically uncovered, and they have this ore in it. But there are carts that come out that seem to be covered with like canvas and tarp, and it seems to be going into a cave of some sort that is just off of this complex at the bottom of the quarry. So there's a separate cave adjacent to the forge that they seem to be taking finished products out of the forge into. You from where you are, you can't see where that tunnel goes, but you do see that that they are producing something in this forge and taking it into this cave.
All right, I got this solved, guys. I got a great plan. We'll
Okay,
put you all in chains, and you'll pretend to be new slaves. I'll pretend to be a new overseer, and we'll right through. If any of the devil overseers ask what we're doing, I'll lie to them and trick them.
I don't know. I think I don't want to pretend to be a slave. You know, it's weird that you would ask all of us that.
Fair.
That's actually a pretty decent idea.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
The best part is it's actually a pretty decent idea. That's actually.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
I will give you inspiration for that, Johan.
I'll take it.
Don't reward that.
Is there a cart? Is there a cart that is there a cart that would be big enough for me and Taters to get into? Me, Taters, and our elephant friend to get into.
Yeah, there are a number of like carts. These carts are rather massive. And there are a number of it seems to be a station that they are taking carts from and to fill them up and once they've been emptied, taking them back to. And from the size of most of them, I think the three of you could fit in. Malachi, Tatian, and Lulu could fit
Okay.
in.
Okay. So
So the
idea.
plan is to sneak through, and then if anybody sees us, we kill them.
Okay. Before we get to the killing, I think Johan, I think the okay. You see in the southwest how they're taking finished products into the cave over here.
Mhm.
If you take a cart with me, Lulu, and and Taters in it, and and you and your partner, not slave, but partner, are taking the carts into the finished product area. That could sneak us into where the rest of the good armor and armory and weapons are, and we can get a layout of what possibly we could steal and take that are actually worth something.
Dyline, can you do a convincing devil snarl?
He's going to use thaumaturgy and then put some extra bass in his voice, and then and then he's gonna let loose a devil snarl.
I guess that might work.
Or Dylan
It's like,
can Dylan polymorph or turn into a creature? Can you do that?
Not anymore. And he looks to his paws, and he's no longer a druid.
Oh no!
Does this place look familiar to you at all?
This place doesn't look familiar, and yeah, but something about it seems off.
Yeah, I
So-
agree.
What seems off?
I don't. Have you ever had a feeling that I don't know, like someone is that you're like connected to someone in a place, you know?
No.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I just feel like the closer that we've gotten, I've had that feeling.
Gotten to what? Closer we've gotten to what? This
To-
place?
This place.
Ori?
Maybe you've got a brother or a sister elephant down there in that cave.
Oh, maybe. It does feel like it might be family or something, you know? But
Oh.
I don't know. I don't remember ever being in this place. And I know that's not saying much, but I don't know. At least all of the other places that kind of came back to my memory, there was a sense that it was like deja vu, you know? But this place is nothing. But there's something tying me to it.
Well, let's go see what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can
let's.
I stealth and try to sneak a cart closer to our location that's big enough for me, Taters, and our friend?
Trying to uh, I do not think that it would be possible for you to stealth
never mind.
to get a cart to your location. It would be possible, though difficult, to get to the carts though.
Yeah, let's get to the carts, and then Dylan and Johan, y'all have to find a tarp or something to cover us, and if y'all can find some finished
Well,
product.
Well, if they're covering all the carts with tarps, they got to be like a big supply of them somewhere.
yeah.
Yeah, are there such carts with tarps?
To be clear, they're covering them when they come out of the forge to the cave.
Got it. Okay.
They go into the forge uncovered. But that implies that there are like it's just canvas. It's like torn canvas. But yeah, there's that they're around there somewhere.
What if we just use any cart and then just cover you with the ore, a little bit of ore on top of you?
It would need to go to the place where I'm saying, they need to have finished. It looks like they have finished weapons or finished armor or
Got
something, and it had a covering on top of it.
Lion is gonna go look for a cart of some kind.
Yeah.
While they're arguing about the particulars of what's in said cart, the cart is needed.
Okay.
I think Tatian would like to, from this distance, see if they can find, like, spot someone that might look like they have a connection with Lulu, like a family member of some sort.
Okay. Okay. So here's what I'm thinking. Dieline, if you can give me an investigation check.
I give you guidance.
I appreciate that. And then a 12.
Yeah, so you see if you as you're looking down, you do see that there is there seems to be a station in this forge where they're covering tarps afterwards. You're not close enough yet to be able to see how you might get in, but you certainly would need to go down to the forge to gather that material.
Okay. I take it you're next to me, Malachi, if you're giving me guidance, right?
At least 30 feet.
Well, we can either walk in and lie about why we're taking it, or we can sneak in and just take it and nobody knows we took it. And then we'll have the tarp to cover the cart with.
He looks to Tatian and Malachi, and he's like, "You guys are the sneaky ones."
Yeah, I ask for a boost when I get inside of the car.
Okay, so so I need whoever's going into the quarry. I need you to make a stealth check.
I have advantage. Oh, thank God for advantage.
Oh, I also get advantage. I rolled 2 18s.
I rolled a 1. I rolled a 1 and a 6. So I got a 15.
Nice.
I got a 15.
Okay.
23 for me.
Well, that's fine. If
Mhm.
if
So-
somebody sees you, we just go to the part where we killed the people who see you.
And I would like to point out that there are quite possibly like 100 devils or more in this this quarry. So
like they're all gonna stop what they're doing and come fight us.
Don't say that. Don't speak that into existence. Do not. I rebuke that in the name of Jesus.
I'm saying that's what I'm saying that sarcastically, not.
hey, if you know, I believe, as the kids say, fuck around and find out.
That wouldn't happen in hell.
The so you are able to you guys are small enough to kind of just like slink through into the camp. Dyline and Johan, as you watch from the hill, you can see your companions enter into the quarry, and they seem to go unnoticed.
I'm gonna bet. Well, before we see, after seeing the trouble with needing a boost over the wall, I'm gonna bet Dylion a gold piece that they get found out.
I had faith in the little ones. They'll be fine.
All right.
To be clear, they're not. You guys are not in the quarry yet. You, like Tatian and Malachi, you are entering the quarry. There is no wall. It's simply 4 watchtowers, like looking down and around the quarry. So there aren't any walls. It's just it's moving down the spiral.
All right. Well, I'm still going to try
platforms.
and tempt fate to make it happen by betting that they get caught. So.
Yeah, sure.
I thought the plan was that that Johan was going to push the cart that we were all in.
Right, but you're going to get the tarp so we can make that plan happen.
Right. Sorry, I was confused.
As you all move further down, and you're able to, there's a number of, just like piles of just stone, soot, and dirt around that you're able to maneuver about as you move further and further down. And you dodge a couple of leashed hellhounds as you move through, and a couple of the overseers that are watching, that seem to take a particular delight in tormenting some of the imprisoned and enslaved, and eventually you make your way down to the base of the quarry where the forge is, and in the forge you see that you see a massive it's a massive crucible that they are that they're melting this ore into, that they're just taking it by the wagon, and they're melting this ore down in order to smelt it into to ingots for weaponry, and some of the ingots they place in wagons to take into this tunnel that you now see, is it's a massive tunnel, and it is dimly lit as you go through, and you can't see where it goes, but you do see that they are that they are coming in and out of this tunnel. They're going into it with a full cart and coming out of it with empty carts. And so there's an assembly line of taking the ore down to the forge, taking some of the ingots out of the forge into this tunnel, and then bringing those carts back empty. Separate from the crucible where they are melting down the where they're refining the ore, there are a number of devils that are working tirelessly, ceaselessly to forge weaponry and slipshod armor for this infernal iron that they're producing. And I think you can tell that there's a lot of pressure. They're sweating profusely. It's a very uncomfortable environment, and they're very rapidly producing weaponry and armor to be produced. The quality of the armor does not look to be the greatest, but it's armor and it's weapons. And it seems like they're going for quantity over quality in this operation. So as you are down at the base and you're looking into the forge, you see that there are essentially 4 entrances, one in like each cardinal direction, and as some of them are going in one entrance, they're going out of another. And it's enough space to take in like 2 carts side by side at one time, and the entrances are tall enough that these 10-foot overseers can walk in and out of. So the entrances are rather large, but they're focused entrances. You do notice that there are a number of windows. They're not glasses. They're really just holes in the structure of the forge in order to ventilate. And there's no real rhyme or reason to why these holes are where they are. They just happen to be there. But this is the scene as you make it to the bottom of the quarry and you're looking into it. You can see there's simply a pile of canvas on the ground near one of the entrances where they're just grabbing canvas to put on top of these carts as they ferry them out into the tunnel. What would you like to try and do, Tatian and Malachi?
Gonna follow lead on this, but kind of keep, as per anxious kobold, I'm gonna keep an eye out around this.
The biggest tarp that I can find that would cover one of the carts. As soon as I can see it, as soon as I see one that is within reach, that we can grab quickly and get out. That's what I'm gonna do.
I mean, they're all. It's hard to be able to tell the size of any of these if people just kind of grab them, throw them down. They're all roughly the same size, so they're So yeah, it's. So if you are going to try and retrieve one of these, I will need you to make a stealth check again.
Give me a second.
Can I give the help action?
I'm gonna say no.
Did my computer just freeze up on me? What in the blue flames of Hades? Give me a second, please.
Should we
Not
take
the
an early
blue
break?
flames of Hades.
Yeah, I think we can. Yeah, if that's all right with y'all, we can take our break a little bit early. Just take a 10-minute break and figure out your tech situation, Lawrence.
Yeah.
All right. So we will be back, everyone, in 10 minutes. Thank you for joining us so far. We will see if this stealth mission is successful. If they will be able to infiltrate the Harmon's quarry and the forge that is at its base in order to undo the power of Zariel. So we will be back in 10 minutes. Remember, you can grant gifts with your stream points. Thank you very much for those who have already. Thank you, Bex2, for the gold gift for that subscription gift. And thank you, Chris, for granting your fellow party members some gold gifts as well. So remember, you can use those channel points. You can subscribe and follow. And then we'll be back in 10 minutes. So see y'all in a bit. All right. Welcome back, everybody. D&D Episodicals 4, Baldur's Gate Descent to Avernus. As the party is beginning their infiltration of Harmon's quarry and the forge that lies at its base, while Lulu is having a very unsure feeling about what they may find here, the party presses onward as Malachi and Tatian are moving sneakily and rather furtive into the forge to retrieve a piece of canvas that they can use to disguise themselves in a cart, so that their companions can much easier infiltrate the place. As you have rolled your stealth check, Malachi, it's light work. Moving into the forge with all of the chaos, taking advantage of the lack of focus anywhere else but their work. And you are able to slip in, slink along the walls, and you're able to grab a piece of canvas as you move out and back to your companion, Tatian. You see Malachi run back Tatian with this with canvas kind of like tucked, like balled up and tucked underarm. And you're muted there. Yeah.
We're using hand signals so that we can stay quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Something.
So now you have to sneak back out. You have to sneak
Another
back
stealth
out.
check?
Yes, I would need another stealth check from you both.
Just sneak
Uh,
where?
I will give Tater's guidance, and I just rolled another natural 20 or 29.
And at this point, Dylan and Johan, you can't see your companions, but you do know that that no alarms have been sound and no one has
All right, so yeah, Johan and Dylan were kind of having this discussion during break. It's like, do we even go down there? I mean, if they're, I totally didn't expect that to go that well, but maybe they can just check out the cave and, I don't know. What are we gonna do?
I mean, they seem to have the job well in hand. And I believe you owe me a gold, my friend.
Well, it's not over yet.
Yeah, did roll a 10 on that self check.
I gave you guidance.
Rolled a 1 on the guidance.
Oh.
It got me to 10.
So
Well,
yeah,
he said Malachi specifically.
Well, I got a natural 20. So I mean, I got 29.
Okay, that evens
Yeah.
out.
Yep, that evens out. So as you begin to move away from a bunch of like boxes and crates, you remain quiet as you make your way back up the quarry until Tatian, you trip over a wrench, and by tripping over
Definitely
this
put a wrench in my plans.
you trip over that gold piece Dylan's about to give me.
I'm gonna give you disadvantage on your next roll because you stole my joke. So,
Yeah.
and then, and the wrench falls over the edge of the ramp that you are on onto a
drum set.
an empty. Oh, it's not a drum set, but it is it's just a empty mass of it's a one of the pans that they are using to clean the ore, and the sound resounds in the area to the point where a few of the prisoners and slaves turn and they look in your direction, in the direction of the pan, and as well as a couple of the overseers that are within earshot of the sound as it resounds around. They don't immediately see you, but where you are, it is very likely that they will see you very soon. How do you respond?
Can I do something?
You can try, yeah.
Okay, so looking at the druidcraft cantrip, can make a small animal. I can make a small animal sound, right? That should be loud enough that they would be able to hear. Can I make in like a sound of rats? Like hell must have rats, right? Or mice or something. Could I make the sound of mice skittering across or something?
I mean, you can try. Yeah, you can try that.
Yeah, like
Before you do that, let me pose a question. Since they haven't seen us yet, we could just dash to that cart and hide in it again, right?
What cart?
Oh no.
we didn't grab the cart yet. We just grabbed the cart.
Right, and we're running back to the cart, right? Or we just make a dash for the cart.
You can make a dash, but it is a little ways away still.
They will see us if we try to dash. I was trying to if it is possible
Yeah.
try to make them think that some mice or rats knocked over the wrench.
Mm-hmm.
Could we hear the racket from all the way up outside the quarry?
Not from where you all are.
All right, so that makes
they're
they're
still pretty.
I don't even know they're gonna do that. That's
Yeah. You don't. It wasn't. This sound wasn't loud enough that it resounds
Okay.
all the way up to the top, because they're still fairly close to the bottom.
Okay.
But I'm gonna need. So I'm gonna need agility checks from the two of you. And or actually, just athletics check. An athletics check.
I'm
Can it
going
be
to use one of my
acrobatic?
nat 20s for this.
No. Because
Just straight athletic.
you're running at this point.
Okay.
So I got a nat
Simply
20
athletics.
and a 25. I'm gonna use my gift.
I'm glad you used your nat 20 because I got a 10.
That's the same thing that just happened, but in reverse. Ah! Why? No.
I mean,
So with disadvantage, you got a 20.
I used my nat.
oh, no.
Oh, rude. Use. Is it worth using 2 nat 20s or do we just take the fail?
It's up to you.
Use the nat 20.
Okay, so we have disadvantage on this check?
Yes, you do.
Okay, so
Wait, we didn't. So my other plan didn't work, or just didn't happen.
well we've got to run.
You got to make your checks first.
Okay, I'm gonna use 2 nat 20s. That hurts.
Okay.
I'll let you borrow one that I have.
Okay, and you rolled a 10, right, Malachi?
Yeah, I rolled 10. Yeah, I rolled 10.
Okay. So Tatian, you are able to make it to the cart. But unfortunately, Malachi is not fast enough to get to the cart.
That's fair. I have a speed of 45.
And eventually, you just hear, "Hey, what the hell are you doing out of your chains?" As one of the overseers points to you, Malachi.
No.
By the way, Sarah, we can see you on Discord.
All right, well, let us know when we can see anything amiss from up top. Otherwise, I'm going to assume we just can't tell anything.
No, not yet. Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Big man said he wanted tart. I'm getting tart.
give me a persuasion check.
Why are you saying it that way? You're clearly a halfling.
Give me a deception check.
That's gracious.
I will guide. Can I guidance myself, please?
I would say no because it's the heat of the moment.
Okay.
But
Casting a spell before you speak might be a little sus too.
Yeah, that's a little sus. I got a 14.
The overseer comes to you and he's towering over you. These overseers are, they're a little bit taller than Johann. And he just looks down and you can see at this point all of the other prisoners are back at work, right? And he just leans down and he's like, "Make it quick." And then he turns and he goes back to whipping one of the prisoners. Yeah, he just walks back and he's like, "I didn't tell you could slow down."
I put it back under my arm and I run.
Okay. I'm assuming you run to where Tatian is?
Yes.
Okay. All right. You're at the cart. at this point. Keeping in mind, like you notice that you do recall that there were two of the overseer demons or devils standing guard outside of the tunnel, that they were ferrying the ingots and weapons to. So there are guards keeping watch at the bottom for whatever is in this tunnel. At this point, Johan and Dylion, you saw Tatian dash to this cart, but you didn't see Malachi for a couple of minutes. And all of a sudden you saw Malachi come a little bit later to the carts.
See, easy peasy.
It's not over yet.
Look, you can't be over here preying on our friend's downfall.
I'm just up here minding my own business. Although, did we come up with a signal for when we're supposed to head down there? I mean, they might be.
Literally my thought.
We did.
As a matter of fact, no, we did not.
Maybe we should just start heading down there.
I mean, I still have faith, right? Yeah.
All right. Oh, we can. I mean, you clearly got more faith than I do. I'm betting that they're going to get caught. So I mean, we can give them more time to see.
He's he's trying to war with the fact like he's not. If he goes down there, that means he doesn't think that they're going to make it up safely. That means he owes you a gold, right?
Well, I think the plan is we gotta rendezvous with them, and then all of us were going into the tunnel. Or I don't know, maybe we should have worked that out better before we split up.
None of
We'll
us
figure
have
that
the
out.
message spelled. None of us have the message spelled, do we?
Message? No, I do not have message.
Oh man.
Oh, actually, I do have message.
Oh, okay.
Hey, are you guys okay?
Who
You
are
hear
you
this
messaging?
voice. You two hear this voice, Tatian and Malachi. It sounds like Dylion in your head all of a sudden.
I'm messed up, but I think it's good. Actually, I think if this is happening in their head, you hear, "I messed up, but I think it's good."
What did you mess up?
You tripped over a wrench, and it made that loud noise. I don't know if you heard, but Malachi talked his way out of it somehow. We haven't seen that happen yet, but he did it.
Wow, the shade.
We didn't hear it up here. We didn't hear it up here, so it must not have been that loud. Just keep doing what you're doing. You're on the right track.
We just gotta get past the two guards.
2 guards where? Can I see the guard she's talking about from here?
Yes, you can.
Okay, I'm gonna nudge Johan and then point towards the offending guards blocking their path.
Are we going to attack them and draw them off so that Tatian and Malachi can sneak into the tunnel?
Do you want to?
I'm asking you. Is that the plan now?
I mean, we could draw them off. I don't know necessarily about attacking them. I don't want to draw like the entire. Ooh, yeah. There's about 1,000 demons in here. I'm trying not to.
Well, hear me out. Actually, if we do go blah 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 blah, come get us, and then we run, and they all chase us, that makes it really easy for
I mean, this
Malachi and
creature,
Tatian, right?
yeah, it makes it extraordinarily difficult for us.
No, we can ride on Karen and fly away.
Alrighty.
Are they talking about splitting the party again?
We can't hear that conversation happening because that's not how the message spell works. It's okay, buddy.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Well, how about this? If that's not the plan, why don't we walk down, and then if they call us out on our bull crap, then we go blah 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 blah, come get us and fly away.
Sounds good. Let's make it happen, Captain.
Okay. So, so if you're,
Yeah,
if you're,
we're just gonna go down the ramp like we own the place, and if any guards challenge us, we say, "Be gone! You're not important. Talk to me," and intimidate them out of the way. And if they insist on doing their job and querying who we are, we'll lie to them.
Be gone! You're not important enough to talk to me. That's gonna go.
okay.
I mean,
Okay.
that's the Karen approach, right?
And I'm assuming, so Dylan, are you acquiescing to this plan?
I'm going to bless us first.
Okay.
Tor may this work. Go ahead and also hit us with aid, right? Just in case.
Okay. So you begin to make your way down. And you're walking fast. It's faces don't pass because they're all focused on the mining operation and beating prisoners. But you do see a number of guards begin to turn to you.
See, the key is you don't give them the benefit of making eye contact. You just utterly ignore them.
Okay.
Once you make eye contact, you acknowledge that you see them.
Give me a deception check at advantage.
At advantage now. Nice. Is that here we go.
Ooh, that's a nat 20, it looks like.
Boom. Be gone, peasant.
They turn to you and they turn to you and look at you as you're walking.
I am regally riding a literal nightmare.
Yeah, right. So, you turn and there are a couple of, and you overhear Dylan and Johan. You overhear one of the overseers whisper to another one. Is he the one that Harrowman called up? I don't think so. He wasn't supposed to be here until another fortnight. Like, yeah, just don't say anything. Just beat this guy. That'll impress him. And so they just turn and they start beating one of the prisoners.
Oh no!
This is the best plan ever.
Oh no!
And eventually you make your way down to you make your way down to the forge level. You make your way to the cart where your companions are. Do you I'm assuming you don't stop and talk to them, but you just kind of keep moving toward the guards.
Well, we need to push the cart in, right?
Yeah, that
Yeah. So
if they're hiding it, you will need them. You'll need
Okay.
someone will need to push the
Okay.
cart in.
All right. You down for that deadline, and I'll do the talking if they require someone to talk to.
I'm pretty frail in arm, but I'll do
Well,
the best I can.
Okay.
I mean, the cart has wheels. They're pretty like they're not. You know,
I could see it in hell where they just deliberately don't have wheels just so that they're push.
the wheels are square, but
Okay.
Oh my god. Oh my
Stupid.
god. Jesus.
what?
No. The wheels are square?
Yes,
Oh my god.
I approve. I love it.
the wheels are square.
And you only
I hate
push
it here.
uphill.
I hate it here.
So
They have the
yeah.
like automatic things where if you get too far from where they just stop.
It's the Aldi's cart? It's the Aldi's
Yeah.
cart?
Yeah, it's just been there's just been an epidemic of people stealing the carts from the quarry.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, pushing them all the way up. This
Yeah.
all the way up this ramp.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
So
All right. So I think we overheard enough rumors to even just talk right past these guys. I think we got this.
Yeah. So it is a can you give me a strength check? Just a basic strength check, Dialion.
All right.
If it doesn't work, we'll have Karen pull it like a sled.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm going to use my natural 20.
Ooh.
Alright.
Okay. You don't know where the power to push this cart comes from. Maybe it is your desire to be strong and to support your friends, but
It's the
something
power
pushes
of-
you.
Yeah, it's the power of blatant confidence, unearned confidence.
Friendship.
It is the power of Karen flows through you.
Yes.
The power of Karen. No.
And you begin to push the cart like without any issues, which is amazing, seeing as though the wheels are square. So
Power of Karen is about to compel these guards to let us pass.
and eventually you get down to the forge, and for you all, for Dialion and Johan, this is new, as you see the crucible and you are hearing the clanging a lot more clearly, and you see the very shoddy work that is going on as they're making these. And as you get closer to the tunnel where these two overseers are standing guard, you hear you thought that the wails were coming from the miners, but you hear this loud mix of just wails and screams coming from this tunnel.
Okay.
Is Lulu with y'all? Like, is she walking by side y'all?
I thought she was with you. Actually, I don't know.
Lulu was with you guys.
Lulu is in the cart.
Okay, okay, cool.
All right. Well, I say we just head right towards the guards. Hopefully, the don't make eye contact trick will work. I don't expect it will. So I have a backup plan to actually deign them with my attention if they demand it.
Yeah, I'll follow you.
As the two see you, they're like, "Hey, what's your business here?"
Peasant, you best stand aside if you know what's best for you. I'm here early for a reason.
Give me another deception check. This time, just regular deception check.
All right. Well, I'll use my birthday nat 20 for that.
Okay.
Hey.
All right. And they're like, oh, sorry, Lord Bender. We didn't know. We were expecting you a little bit later.
Yeah, clearly, at the state of this place.
If we knew you were coming, we would have tore up the place a little bit more. But you'll have to excuse our foolishness.
I expect this place to be working much more efficiently. Now get to it.
Yeah, yes, sir. And and you see one of them just run into the forge, and he's like, "You said I told you to work fast. I said work faster." And so,
Dyline is going to growl with thaumaturgy. He's like, "First, start with these wheels. How are you doing work with square wheels?"
Well, we don't push the wheels. It's for the prisoners.
All right, we're already late enough as is. Let's get a move on.
It's like, and the one of the guards is like, "Sir, you shouldn't be doing that. Do you want one of the prisoners to help you with this?"
Business. I'll grab them as I need them. Don't worry about that. You worry about getting those.
Yes, sir.
I mean, hold on a second. Like, who did you want to push this instead of me?
Anyone. Just tell me who you need.
He's gonna point. Do I see Taters or Malachi nearby?
No, they're in the cart.
Oh, okay, sweet. Well,
yeah, they're in the cart.
Yeah, I'll choose a guy that's getting mercilessly beaten, like, right, and then I'll have, instead of getting slapped, he can come push the cart for a break.
All right. Yeah, send the Goliath on over. And so he sends a Goliath your way. And it's like, come on, get to it. And Goliath takes.
He is pushing. I'm gonna heal his obvious wounds really quick, like on the fly.
Okay.
Yeah. Before the guards move away, I want to tell them we need. We don't need any distractions in here. I want you guys to make sure nothing else comes in here to interfere with our work.
Yes, sir.
All right, get to it.
So, as you move into the tunnel and the wails intensify, you just intermittent wails and screams. And as I said, it is dimly lit. It is a hollowed out part of the quarry, and in this winding tunnel with torches lighting the way every every few paces, you eventually see that the tunnel opens up into a larger chamber, and as you step through the opening, you see row upon row of creatures on crosses, with spikes through their wrists and feet, and you see devilish creatures that they kind of look like mosquitoes, but you know, like 5-foot mosquitoes.
Yeah, they're clearly mosquitoes in hell. That tracks.
Yeah, and they are sucking blood out of these crucified creatures. And they're all manner of creature of human, elven, and the like, all crucified in rows. It's maybe hundreds.
Are they drawing the iron out of people's blood, and that's where infernal iron comes from?
Oh my God! Why would you say that?
I mean, that's what it looks like, doesn't it?
Yeah, it tracks.
There certainly seems to be some sort of like repository at the base of each of these crosses for something. But what these mosquito creatures are doing is they are taking the blood, and you see them fly past the rows of crucified individuals up to a ruddy black tree on which you see an impaled elf. And they are injecting this elf with the blood of these crucified individuals. The elf is fettered and chained to the tree with a branch impaling through his chest. And this elf has blonde hair that is dirty and matted. And you can see there's profuse sweat dripping down his face, with dirt and soot all over himself. The armor that he used to wear, the armor that he has on is torn to pieces. And all that remains is a symbol. And Dyline, you recognize this symbol. You may not remember exactly what it is from, but you recognize it. Offhand, but you might be able to remember it.
Is there a check I can make?
If you give me a history check, you might be able to recall it.
I will use my inspiration on this check.
Okay.
For mighty. Oh, I'm blessed. Hashtag blessed. Look at that. 12.
You recognize it as the symbol of the Hell Riders. There is the insignia is nearly all that remains of this broken armor on this elf. Are Tatian and Malachi, are you guys peeking out of the cart yet?
I am.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
These.
I just want to say the nightmare fuel that you described, outstanding. Just
as when he mentions the Hell Riders, you also notice that symbol, a crude facsimile of that symbol, has been burned into the chest of each of the crucified creatures here. And
so they're taking the blood and then injecting it into him. What are they doing?
Yeah, that's all the flying creatures are doing. The Sturges are doing.
they're doing demonic blood transfusions on a crucified creature. This is, oh my God.
Yeah. It looks like it's not a mercy. It's just to keep suffering longer. Interesting.
Lawrence wants to kill those creatures and free the person that's off of the that's being crucified and bring the Hell Rider down. Lawrence wants to do that.
Yeah, I was going to say, what do we know about the Hell Riders? But we have somebody we can ask about the Hell Riders. What is the Shield?
Yeah, what does Lulu have to say?
Or I would say the Shield, because he doesn't have memory problems.
Lulu was a Hell Rider, right?
Do you call? I'm assuming that you invite Lulu up because she's hiding in there with Tatian. Like she's Lulu has like kind of like put an ear around Tatian, and they're just kind of hiding in the cart together.
Yeah, I asked Lulu to come up for a second.
That's so cute. I need that.
Lulu asks if you're gonna be okay, Tatian.
Yeah, I'm just not risking putting anybody in danger.
Lulu comes up, and Malachi, you notice Lulu's eyes grow wide. As she's silent for a moment, as she looks around, and her eyes grow even wider, as if it weren't possible, as she sees the individual on the tree. And she says, Jandar.
Who's Jandar?
Jandar, Sunstar. He was the captain of the Hell Riders.
What did he do?
No.
Should we get him down?
No. He put himself up there. He's the reason for all of this in the first place.
That'd be kind of awkward to hammer yourself up there like that.
Explain, please.
That's what it was. And she covers her face and kind of like rubs her face with her ears. And she slinks down into the cart for a sec, and she begins to talk about the Hell Riders. And she says that, I remember now. The Hell Riders said that they would help Zariel get rid of the devils and end the battle between devils and demons. And the Hell Riders pledged themselves to this. But when they got here to Avernus, Jandar and his army fled, and they left Zariel here. They left us here.
Is Jandar a construct?
Jandar's the elf. That is.
He's an elf.
I know. It just would have been cool.
She was saying it. She was saying
Thank you, Joji. Anyway, continue with your amazing storytelling.
See, that's that Neverwinter philosophy right there.
As Uh, sorry, I just saw the chat and I'm bothered. Janet T, you have disadvantage on your next roll. Anyway,
He betrayed.
Um,
He betrayed y'all in the middle of the battle. He just left.
the battle didn't even begin, and Jandar fled.
What
I don't.
battle did they flee from? With the demons or with the devils?
It was devils. Zariel led the Hell Riders. Historically, what you know and what you guys remember reading in the archives is that so the Hell Riders were heralded as heroes. Yeah, and that they fought an incursion of devils on the physical plane, and the um, the knowledge as you know it in and especially as Elturel puts it is that Zariel died heroically in the battle, and some of the Hell Riders who were lost also, they died in this battle. But those who returned, they fought valiantly to fight these devils. And so what Lulu is explaining is the complete opposite of that fiction as it has been told. And really, Jander was, and the Jander and the remaining Hell Riders were cowards. They left their companions to die, and
Their companions were just more people who were like believed them and followed them.
yeah, everyone that came believed in Zariel in her charge.
Okay.
And Zariel, because Zariel was originally an angel, like a celestial angel, and she, in her desire to end the fighting between devils and demons and the control that they had on the physical realm, she rallied this cause to fight them. And Jander and the Hell Riders were among those that pledged themselves to this cause. But when it came down to following through, they fled.
All right. So all these people on crosses are probably more followers.
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
You don't abandon your friends in the middle of a fight. I have no respect for that.
So what's the story of why did he put himself up the tree? Doesn't matter
Right.
how. The why is what's
He
important.
It was more metaphorical of like his actions put him
Yeah.
there.
Okay.
Yeah, he did that himself by abandoning his people.
Okay.
You don't run from people.
Because what you know of hell is that this is like what you can surmise that this is the soul of this creature,
Right.
that is here, right? Like this is where they are fated to go. Their decisions have bound them to this plane in some capacity. Okay. I think based off of what you know, more than likely they're abandoning Zariel during combat cursed them to this plane when they died, and so as such this is where they are, and so and that's how most devilish contracts go. That's how most angelic contracts go, and it just goes to follow that when Zariel became a devil, by the transitive property, that curse continued into hell.
So have we heard the story yet of how Zariel went from angel to devil?
It was mentioned, yes.
Yeah, I know it was mentioned that
When
it happened, but do we know exactly like what happened?
no, yeah, we still don't we still don't know that. We just know that it happened at this point.
Right. Okay.
Um, yeah.
Can
But at this point, so what we now know is that the Hell Riders abandoned Zariel and some of their other companions to Hell, and then at some point, Zariel not only became a fallen angel, but also became the ruler of Avernus.
all right, so the carts that are covered, presumably full of weapons, are being brought in here.
They're being
What-
brought in. You see that there is another tunnel at the end of this opening,
Okay.
where the carts go, as well. So you can't see where that tunnel goes right now, but yeah, they
But
go through
there's-
this room.
All right, so yeah, like there's ruts or rails or whatever, clear signs
Yep.
like that way. Okay.
Yep. Yeah,
This
because
is-
it is like the room is like there is a track around the outside, and then in the center there's this raised platform where these crucified souls are, and you can see that there's some crosses that are not that don't have anyone on them yet, but almost all of them are full, indicating I don't know whatever you can surmise from that.
And how many? There were 4 Hell Riders.
No, there were thousands of Hell Riders.
I see.
This was an army.
How DM, how many crosses do not have occupants on it?
Give me a perception check.
I want to note that. Malachi wants to note that. 18.
Okay. I mean, there are a couple of hundred crosses in this room, in this chamber, and there are probably about 20 to 30 that don't have crosses on them just yet. That don't have inhabitants just yet.
I will make a note of that.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if we have time for it, but next time when we start, I want to ask the shield. I forgot his name. Golgath, I think.
Gargath.
Gargath. Ask him what he knows as well.
Okay. So I think that this is probably a good place for us to leave off today, and we will go into it again. So yes, you're welcome for whatever nightmares you will have after following this.
Oh my god.
Also, thank you everyone out there who has joined us this morning as we have traversed this hellscape together. Because that is what makes it a lot easier to traverse the hellscapes of life. It is the friends and family that you have around you. My name is Winston. I'm your GM here, and yeah, I'm going to give everyone an opportunity to introduce themselves, starting with Big Chris.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Big Chris, and I'm here playing Lion today. And I also play Frodo on Tuesday nights, formerly with the lovely Derica. I mean, she's still lovely, even though she's not playing with me anymore. But yeah.
There.
Derica, your neighborhood Hufflepuff. And I play Tatian. And in real life, I'm getting my MBA. So it's been a time.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. You know,
Like, excellent.
black excellence and whatnot, you know.
Yes.
But yeah, good time. And now I'm really. So see you next week.
Yeah. Hal.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Hal. I play Johan, the person with utterly stupid ideas. I ought to apologize for the stupid idea earlier. I, obviously was not a thinking person in the morning.
It was a great idea.
Yeah.
In game, it was a great idea.
In
but I
character,
appreciate it.
in game, it was a good idea.
And so not an excuse, but so I am truly sorry for any uncomfortable feelings that
For the record, the three of us are not upset with how we just think it was funny. We all get along. We respect each other. We love each other. So
I'm glad that we're friends, because if we were strangers, that clearly could have gone differently. So, that's totally on me. That was totally on me.
Lawrence, last but not least.
Hey, y'all. I'm Lawrence. I play Malachi. My Harry Potter school is Elden Ring. And and you can find me here playing with my friends and having controlled nervous breakdowns because people are being crucified and then getting blood transfusions. Like, Jesus, that oh my God, the visual on that is scarring. But yeah, you can find me here with my friends as we traverse through hell.
Yes, and you can also help Rem Alternis traverse through the many projects and ambitions that we have by joining this wonderful community on Discord. You can join the Discord and be apprised of all of the happenings and going-ons of Rem, and also with the opportunity to maybe be in a stream. We do casting calls all the time. One of the things that I love about Rim is that we invite people from the community to play with us. And so we have a streamathon coming up. So there is the possibility of maybe if you've got an idea of running a game, if you want to be in a game that is being run, all of that is happening on Discord. So join in on that. Also,
I do have a quick question.
We'll answer that question later. After the Patreon, you can also support us on Patreon for just a couple bucks a month. You can support the work that we're doing here at REM. The content that we produce and create allows us to produce more and to do more. So with that being said, we will see you all hopefully next week as we continue and we look further into what is happening down here in this hellhole. But with that, folks, we thank you all. Be kind to one another, be good people, and hopefully we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Much love, everybody.